Highguard is officially released, and regardless of what the shills who were wined and dined would tell you, it is officially being confirmed as one of the most mid games to ever game. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Land Idol, and yeah, we're going to look at the Highguard launch day and just how terrible it's been. Before we do, hit that subscribe button. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day, and let's go, son.
Highguard launch day, and the game's only been out for a number of hours now, and I was curious to see both the gameplay and some public sentiment on this game already, so I went to some of...
Let me tell you about the gameplay. Now, to be fair, I've not played the game. I'm going completely off secondhand information. Why have I not played the game? Because much like every gamer in existence when this was announced, we knew that it was going to be some undercooked mid, but my boys over at New Blackstreet played the game, or at least they attempted to play a game, but their lobbies kept getting hit with not enough players to even start the game. So how do you talk about the gameplay when you can't actually play the game?
The top most viewed streamers for Highguard this morning, taking a look at both their gameplay and also hoping to find their opinions and also see what the chat was saying about this. And spoiler alert, it's not looking good at all for this game. And so in this video, we'll take a look at the opinions of some of the most watched streamers who have streamed this game today, that being streamers like Tim the Tatman, Flats, Necro, Stokey Bird, and Boger. And I will put timestamps there for you to make it convenient for you to skip around if you'd like.
Nah, we ain't doing no skipping. We going all in, baby. I want to see every single individual roast the hell out of this game. And again, I keep using the term mid. Not even necessarily because it's a bad game. And again, I haven't played it, I'm not sure. But when this game was revealed, when it was announced, when Geoff Keighley opted to end the entire showcase with this, gamers the world over collectively groaned.
Before we get into that though, some analytical information, some data about this game. And so far, that's also looking horrible. What's really crazy is the player count for this game is already declining on launch day. The player retention is really bad for this game. The all-time peak player count, which of course is the peak for today too, since it just came out, was 97K. And it's already been dropping all the way down to 54K as of...
Let's take a look at this for a moment. Let's point out, it's like, oh, it's the evening time. Of course, it's going to drop. No, guys. This right here would be 8 o'clock. This right here would be 8 o'clock. You tell me it peaked at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. would be the peak. By 8 o'clock, by 9 o'clock, it has lost almost 50,000. It's lost almost 50,000 players within 2 hours
of recording. Now, generally, on a launch day for a game, the player count progresses throughout the day as people get off work, get out of school, etc., download, install the game. And then in the coming days and weeks, it's a question of how much that player count can retain those levels. But for Highguard, on launch day, within hours, they're already dropping significantly. I mean, 97K to 54K, that's terrible. And it might keep getting worse as the day progresses. And then there's the review score, which, as you can see, only has about 20% giving it a thumbs up.
Now, mind you guys, 9,000 reviews. Like, look, I want, because inevitably, the shill media is going to say, review bombing. They always jump to that. They always jump to review bombing. Ain't no goddamn way that out of 54,000 people in game, almost 100,000 current, which probably means, because obviously concurrent players isn't a representative, not everybody's playing at once, so you've probably got, let's say around 300,000, if we're being, conservative with it, players at, just throughout the course of the day. Over 300,000 people, 9,000 reviews, 80% of them negative. Guys, this ain't review bombing. This is the gamers saying exactly what they assumed would be the case when we got this reveal mere months ago.
Meaning about 80% of the reviews are negative. That gives it an overwhelmingly negative review score on Steam. And then this is just hilarious. So the official Highguard trailer was posted on their official channel here on youtube.com just a few hours ago this morning, and they had instantly locked the comments. So that's not exactly a...
I was completely unaware of this. Dude, they know the game's cooked. All the money in the world, all the buying and paying and whining and dining and shilling from the mainstream media and Geoff Keighley and the Game Awards could not save this game because it's not organic. At the end of the day, players, gamers, real gamers understand authenticity. Why does something like Expedition 33 do it blew expectations out of the water versus something like this that is just assembly line. Again, I don't even want to call it trash. Just assembly line slop, which I know is an overused word, but slop nonetheless. They know. Also, real weird to drop their trailer date of release, but that's neither here nor there.
Show of confidence from the Highguard team. Really quick, I want to mention the memes and jokes about this game being Concord 2. I think they're funny, but like, let's be real. Concord, as bad as Highguard's looking right now, and it is looking pretty dang bad. Not even just like subjectively, but like the analytical data is horrible.
Yeah, Concord was a special kind of awful. This ain't Concord 2. Concord was a special kind of awful. This isn't even that. This isn't even so bad that there's like some sort of morbid curiosity to it. I don't even think this video will perform very well, but I'm recording it anyway because I find it so funny. This is just a resounding from gamers. Like, there might be some motherfuckers that click on this because they find it funny to see how much of a fart in the wind this game is. But dude, in a week from now, this video, Hero Hayes video, everyone's videos, and of course the player count, ain't gonna matter. You're gonna get some of the diehards, some of the people that just like, they just eat up this slop like the good little piggies they are. They're still gonna be playing. You might have, 10,000, somewhere between 3 and 10,000 current players in a week from now. But yeah, this is gonna fade so fast because it's apathy. It's not even anger or comedy like with Concord. It's apathy.
But it is also a far cry from how bad Concord is. That's also objective. I mean, what did that game have at launch? I think it was under 2,500 players? Hold on, let me check that really quick. Yeah, so the beta peaked at around 2,400 players, and I'm even rounding that up. I'm being nice. It's even worse than that. And then the Concord all-time peak was 697 concurrent players. That is just insane. But I thought it was interesting how some of these corpo journalists like Jason Schreier, who were shilling for Concord, if I recall, and shilling for Veilguard and games like that, DI slop games. Well, he was really running with the memes of Highguard being Concord too. And again, they were funny memes, but it felt disingenuous coming from that dude. It felt like really him and some other corpo journalists were trying to like make people forget just how bad Concord is, or was, I should say. They really didn't like people criticizing the very obvious DI aspects for that game. And while Concord certainly had a vast number of issues, not just the DI aspects, they were certainly a factor. And like these people that are all for that, trying to make us forget how bad Concord was. I'm just saying, like, I'm not falling for that. But enough about Concord. Let's move on to Highguard, because there's still a lot to talk about now. Here's a very quick list of pros and cons I've seen people making about this game. So some of the stuff people like is the sound design. They say that the sound effects too are like okay. They like that it's free to play, but in my opinion, there's much better free to play games out there anyways. And then they like that the game is only 21 gigabytes. That's it for the pros.
Look, I'm a sound design guy, all right? I'm a sound design guy. Whether it be movies, video games, whatever, I want a nice score. I want some good sound effects. If there's a soundtrack, I want the soundtrack to be fitting. Obviously, you need to have your levels correct, the mixing, the mastering. Sound design ain't gonna carry a game unless it's a horror game. Let's be real. No one playing fucking hero shooters for sound design. Look, the file size, yeah, I've been known to download a game or two based on file size. Doesn't mean I'm gonna stick with it. This is everything that he just said, like, as pros for the game are laughable because these should be the things that are, like, kind of default, just standard.
The cons, people are saying stuff like the map is too big for 3v3. The whole thing is generic and boring, that no one asked for this or wants it. The whole thing is too repetitive. People don't like the graphics, and they say the optimization is terrible. That the maps are boring, the weapons are boring, the gameplay and movement is worse than other similar games like Apex, that the characters are bland. And throughout all the streams I went to, it seems like people in the chats unanimously all thought this game was pretty dang boring to watch. They didn't enjoy watching this game. Now, with all that context, let's take a look at what streamers are saying about this game from their experience playing it today. Starting with Tim the Tap Man, who was playing with a friend of his. So they had 2 people in his team, and then the third one was a random fill for the lobby, because these games, by the way, are 3v3 only so far. And they get this random person who joins their game on their team. And this guy thought the game was so boring that he actually quit mid-match and apparently just like uninstalled.
How does that make sense?
So it locked and then you died, and now
Yeah, that's
me
so
and this
dumb.
other guy
Now
have
you're
to
gonna
stop the
2v3.
shield
Hey
breaker.
guys, I'm sorry. This game is very, very boring. I'm gonna lose.
Homie probably has no idea he's on stream with one of the biggest gaming streamers, And we're witnessing just like a complete rejection of this game by just the normie class. This is beautiful.
Oh, he's gonna leave.
Our random?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna leave?
Bro, I don't know. This game is.
Yo, bro played one game and he's out, dude. Yo. He played one game and he's like, yeah, I'm good.
It doesn't seem like that dude who was bored after one game was like, nah, go use my time for something else.
Well, that's what I was going to say. To use your time for something else. Because, again, the idea... Look, did it have good day one numbers? Absolutely. Nearly 100K concurrent day one. No one's going to deny those are good numbers. But with a free-to-play game, longevity is key. Because you need people to keep coming back. You need people to keep buying the cosmetics or buying the boosts or whatever it may be. You got to have longevity and you got to have a reason for people to spend both their time. And then if they spend their time, we as a company want them to spend the money. If people are bouncing after one game, that doesn't look good for the longevity aspect of this game, especially because most folk, people that aren't streamers or whatnot, they got real fucking lives, okay? They might only get a couple of hours of game time a night because they got to be in bed so they can work up at 5 a.m. for their fucking real job. Why would they spend 2 hours playing a boring-ass mid-the-game when they can be popping on, first of all, any other hero shooter, Marvel Rivals, whatever it may be, they could be playing any other hero shooter, or they could be playing something like Ninja Gaiden, or just insert any other game here. There would be a worthwhile usage of their 2 fucking hours.
It doesn't seem like that was a unique opinion. As mentioned, the player count has already gone from 95K to 65K. That is not something they want.
And you expect drops like that when it's non-peak hours, right? When it's non-peak hours. Bro, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., those are some pretty peak hours for the U.S. Losing almost 50K, losing almost 50,000 players within that 2-hour radius, you can't just account for, Asia's going to bed, as if this is the type of game that would even be big in Asia anyway.
To be seen on launch day. Definitely not. I mean, I'm recording this video still too. By the time this is uploaded and you watch it, the player count might be even less.
Actually, yeah, that's a good question. I'm recording this, so it is a quarter after 10 p.m. my time, Central Standard Time. Let's take a look what it is right now. Just off the top, at 10 o'clock, 10:16 p.m. Central Standard Time, Highguard. Bro. 28,000 players right now. It has dropped by, if we're going to round, about 70,000 players since its peak. Because even if we're going East Coast, where it's a quarter after 11, I mean, there's no way. This is the 48-hour window. Let's do some comparisons here. SteamDB, and let's do Marvel Rivals. I'll show you guys. Let's see, Marvel Rivals. We'll go charts, and we'll do the same 48 hours. And what are we sitting at? 150. It's not even dropping at the same rate, right? Whoop, wrong thing here. So, if we're at... Yeah, it goes down a little. That's 3 a.m. 4 a.m. So, if we're looking at 8 p.m., which is when everything started to drop for Highguard, you don't see a substantial drop again until 11 p.m. And then you don't really see another substantial drop in there until fucking 4 a.m. Or no, is this... Okay, until midnight. Okay, there we go. Yeah, until midnight. Yeah, it's essentially GMT and UTC. Okay. This is insane. Like, people stay up playing, right? People stay up playing. This is peak gaming time right here. 1 o'clock p.m. 10 o'clock p.m. This is abysmal.
Great start, that's for sure. And then just now I went to Boger's stream, and actually perfect
On
timing
launch
because
day.
he had something to say about that dude leaving the game. He also gave his opinion on the game thus far, and yeah, it doesn't really seem like he's enjoying it all that much, to say the least.
I'm not done, bro. I still got another one in me. I got another one. I mean, I have 40 more minutes, so I might as well just play a bit. More gunplay than spamming abilities? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it reminds me of Apex. It's just Apex. It's just Apex without the good stuff. That's the thing.
Apex without the good stuff. Now, mind you, Apex didn't exactly have that great a reputation. Like,
it's just Apex without the goods. Like what? I mean, like it's the gunplay is worse. The movement is worse. The items are worse. The weapons in Apex are so cool. Weapons in this game are so bland. I really like the weapons in Apex. Like, they all feel really unique and really cool to use. The guns here feel so bland.
not enough players. Some players might have dropped out. This has been an ongoing issue all day.
Yeah, you can do the same movement tech, I think.
Returning players to lobby.
Characters are bland. Weapons
what
are bland.
is this,
Maps are
dude?
bland.
But,
I feel like.
again, it is worth noting. Gamers saw this coming. Like, gamers saw this coming. You can very simply, you can just go to X right now, and you can just Highguard, right? Highguard. Let's just see what the general sentiment is. Highguard is one of the most boring and uninspired games I've played in a long time. I'm so serious when I say this will be forgotten about before the end of the week. That's my boy Kata. Drop my boy like. This is what it means to play Highguard. And yeah, again, not enough players. Everyone going back to playing the game after they have 1,000 hours on after playing Highguard. Right! Again, who is this person? Is this anybody? 519 followers. How? 305 likes, dude. 14,000 views. Everyone going back to playing the game they have 1,000 hours on after playing Highguard. Been playing Highguard for 30 minutes. Not enough players. You know what's bad when Highguard removed from the creators of Apex and Titanfall from their description. Highguard devs right now. Highguard, as at its peak, managed to pull 97,000 players, but the reviews have become overwhelmingly negative. The hypothesis here is that since the game is free, people gave it a shot and ditched it because it sucks. Uh-huh. All right, let's see what my boy Trey's got to say. Let's see what Trey's got to say.
And this is exactly why you're being called a shill. Highguard has lost half of its player base since launching 4 hours ago. Hot start, reaching nearly 100,000 players concurrent on Steam, and now they've fallen wide because the game was nowhere near as good as the shills tried to tell you it was. Y'all niggas was up there taking them trips. Y'all was getting them hotels, getting the swag, getting the chains, getting your backs blown out, getting some folk. And you was like, yeah, we'll tell everybody the game is good. Shit is ass, man. We just played it for 4 hours, man. This shit is ass. I mean, let me stop grifting. It's not ass. It's just generic. It's exactly what we thought it was when we first seen it at the Game Awards. Very generic. Very, very, very generic. And I think that if you respect any of these content creators that went out there and took all that free stuff and tell you that this game was good, you should roast them into oblivion right now, nigga.
And there it is. First of all, that is a terrifying frame to freeze on. Holy shit, Atreus, we look like a demon. That's some analog horror shit. But anyway, no, he is exactly correct. I gotta scroll. I can't keep that on the screen. But no, he is exactly correct. First of all, in terms of calling it mid and generic, and that's what it is. That's why this is different than Concord objectively bad. This is worse, right? Like, this is worse because the idea of something being bad it elicits an emotional response, right? If something is bad, it makes you angry, right? It makes you annoyed. It makes you feel something. This is nothing. That's why people are calling it mid. That's why nobody is playing it anymore after just a few hours. Because they couldn't even get emotionally invested enough to elicit negative emotions. It's just boring. But the big takeaway from Atreus' little short there is the shills. That's the most important part of this, because this is what goes to show that the gaming industry is done. And not the industry as in the people making the games and whatnot. I mean, we had discussions about that. We've had discussions about that. But the stuff on the periphery, the journalists, the shills, the media, things to that effect, they flew all these content creators out there. They whined them and they dined them. They talked about how fun it was, how great it was. And nobody cared. Nobody bought it. Nobody believed it for a moment. I mean, if you go back and look at the Game Award footage when the game was shown off, fucking crickets. Fucking crickets, bro. Because nobody gave a shit. And here we are a few months later, and nobody gives it. Not even a few months, just a couple months later. That was the beginning of December, and we're now near the end of January. And nobody gives a shit. However, they wanted to pretend that people gave a shit by flying out all these different creators and these journalists and people who have this illusion of meaning something in the grand scheme of the gaming industry that people don't give a shit about. People aren't reading your overly produced bogus articles where you cap more for the identity politics of the video games than the actual content of the game itself. Nobody's gives a shit about some streamer or whatnot that we know full damn well doesn't play video games when they're not streaming. They're using it effectively just as a means to an end, as a way to make money or whatnot. They don't care about the quality of games. They couldn't even tell you who let's see, what's his name? Miyamoto is, right? They couldn't tell you who Shigeru Miyamoto is by name. This is the problem, dude. The shills wanted that bag. They knew full well this game was gonna be ass, or at the very least, they would not even ass. Again, it was gonna be mid, but they took that money anyway, and they smiled and they lied through their fucking teeth to your face as if this game was going to be a good game. Let's look at a few more of these. I'm curious. You were hyping Highguard up more than Studio has since it was revealed at the Game Awards. Because Geoff Keighley himself. Thoughts on Highguard so far? How much they pay you to promote the game? It's terrible. Like, I want my money back and never spend a dime on this game. Dude, Asmongold just comes in with bro. Did he dude, again, Asmongold just ratio Geoff Keighley. Not that should be super hard, but just smash. Do you have financial interest in the game's success? Savvy, did you invest in the studio? How are you paid in any way, not just monetarily, to promote the game? How much did you charge them for the ad slot of the award show? Why are you promoting it on both accounts, the award show and personal? What was the part of the promo deal for the award show? Package deal. Okay, liar! Yeah, this is not good. I'm not seeing a single positive, and the damage control begins. How long until we get to a positive comment? We got RGT, Angry Canadian, nobody cares. Even Angry Canadian, who's a dude who, always, it's his default is to go against the anti-woke chuds or whatever. Even he can't argue. Come on, Geoff. Check out Deadlock Jeff is the next big thing. And I actually responded to that. I like your profile pic, Connor. Ciao. Nice. I like your profile pic. I want to apologize to everyone for premiering this shit. It's free. I still want a refund. How can a game with 6 players run worse than 64 players at Battlefield? Complete flop. Is there a single person who was going to White Knight for this game? Didn't deserve to take the last reveal of the Game Awards. Never do. All right. We lost E3, so Jeff remote flops. I mean, come on, Jeff. Why'd you? It's hot garbage. Holy shit. Just going to leave this right here. Okay, that one's good. Turn his words against him. This shit is so ass. This is a joke. I was really riding with you, Jeff, but you usually lied to us. This game was good in any capacity. People think it's shit. Are you going to be giving out apologies now? Dude! How far until we get to anything that's positive? I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad. I am glad. Uninstall. I really want to give this game a fair shake. Obviously, they didn't. Still time to relaunch the Half-Life 3 trailer. Alright, it was pretty good. I think you owe us an apology. And it says it all, big dog. Dog shit. That's one big pile of shit. Absolute ass. Play one game, instantly uninstalled. You ruin what could have been a somewhat middle FPS game. Jesus Christ, dude. I don't think we're going to find one, guys. I think this might be the one time the internet's completely united. I think this might be the one time the internet is completely united. Holy fuck. Worse than Battleborn. Battleborn also failed. I don't know what to say. Like, if anything, because we're going to wrap it up here. I know we didn't finish the Hero Hate video, and I will post it in the comments. Obviously, you know, if we're going to be reacting to people's content, definitely check them out. Give them drop a like, subscribe, the whole nine, because we did use them. But I don't know what more he could say that we haven't already found here. If anything, this game, this game is an exercise in why you should not trust gaming media in any way, shape, or form. I'm not saying like your anti-woke YouTuber or whatnot is the end-all be-all either. Like, don't get me wrong. I make mistakes. Hypno make mistakes, right? The whole nine. And some of these motherfuckers I think are straight up full-on grifters. I mean, not everybody. In fact, there's not a lot of them, but a few of them, like, oh my god, what's his name? Endymion. And, you know, I don't fuck with Endymion. I think dude's a full-on grifter. But the point is, look, whether it be the shill mainstream media, whether it be the, you know, us here in this sort of sphere, you don't try and tell people not to trust their eyes, right? Doth my lying eyes deceiveth me? Everybody saw this announcement. Everybody was watching the Game Awards, and everyone had the exact same response when this was the final trailer. The fuck is this? Like, and again, it was apathetic at best. Then we get nearly 2 months of next to no promotion. Then with 48 hours before the game comes out, start flying all these motherfuckers out there and start just shilling the fuck out of it. I mean, how did people not see? It seems like most people did see through that, by the way, which is good. But if for whatever reason you were fooled by anybody and everybody's out there doing some positively peddling, hope to Christ this was a wake-up call for you. It ain't no Concord 2. I'm waiting for a Concord 2. But honestly, this is even better because it's exactly what Real Gamers said from the very beginning. And these are my opinions. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Let me know on X. You can find me at Bolt the Word. And please do subscribe. I'm a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Not always about the video game industry, but anime, movies, music, Magic the Gathering, you name it. Check us out on Instagram at wordsofparadise_Leon and become a member for $4.99 a month. You can join the Discord. Choose the articles you go over on a day-to-day basis. Choose the videos we react to on the daily streams. And of course, get involved with over 250 other vital idols. We are a bright, beautiful, glowing, vibrant community that I cannot wait to grow even further. Because we do care about diversity, only one kind of diversity of thought. That's interesting to you. Join the Discord, subscribe. Until next time, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. This has been Words of Paradise.